Hi, my name is Per Robert and I'm sitting in a garden in New Delhi, in India, and I want to show you a film today.
Start-up time. Below may come in a partly different order for you when you are doing your project, but they are showing things that will take time before you have your order placed. First, you need a business idea. And if your first business idea seems good, then you will work with that. But maybe you need to change it when you have examined the possibilities, what it demands, and so on. So maybe you need to do a second business idea and so on, until you have a business idea that you can build your business on. Then you have a business plan. The business plan needs words and figures. Words will tell how you will do your business, what the business is. It will tell about your competitors and how you can handle your competitors so you can survive with your business. And the figures will tell you plus and minus, a rough figure at least, so you can see that you will earn money. And this also include an organization you will have. Are you alone doing things, or who else is included, both within your own company or else outside your company, which need to be there. To make all this business plan and make it ready can take just a few hours, or it may take several months. It depends on how much time you put to it and how complicated it is in your case. Then you need to formate a company if you don't already have one. You need to select products that you are going to sell, and that you do carefully, so you pick the ones that function well. And this selection time can be short if it's easy, depending on your business plan and idea is clear, or it may take some significant time. If you're going to produce, you then need to design. And you do it yourself or you have someone else to do it. But there must be a written, clear and understandable instruction to a manufacturer done in a proper way. Otherwise, the production and the rest of the time will take too long time, or you may end up with the wrong products. So this can take from a few hours to make a design, depending if it's something very easy, to take several weeks or months again here. It depends all to you. How much time are you spending on this? Is it a full time or you are part time, or and so on. But you need a proper design. Then comes the issue if you are buying from stock or have the things produced. But by now, when you have come to the design point and so, you will know it already. Then you have to find someone to do it. You can use our service in Kronborg, or you can use someone else. But if you are building that, you need to have a contact that you know these ones can do it. And it has to be the right company who can handle it. There are too many contacts that can't handle your order or are not optimal. Then you have to initiate the back and forward, I call it. Back and forward means that you are sending emails, information, or have meetings with your contact for it could be the exporter or manufacturer, and then they will react on it, and you will react on what they say, and so on, back and forward until they have understood exactly what you want. And this is a process, and this process will take some time. It's not done overnight. Typically, it is often you have to spend at least some weeks or maybe a few months, depending on how complicated your case is. So what is it that takes time? First, I'll give some points that are valid both when you buy ready product from stock and when you want to have it manufactured with your own design. The first thing is that you need to agree with the exporter or manufacturer who you are dealing with. on terms and conditions. Now, if you're buying from stock, there might be fixed rules and there might be fixed price, so there might not be too much to discuss. But otherwise, there can be a lot of points that you have to see the terms and conditions for the before you place the order. And then you have to place the order. And remember, it's only the date when you place the order things start to move for the production or they start to pick out the products from the stock. This is the real start date, you can say. The other is time you need to do first before you can come to this point. This is an important date. And if you delay placing the order, it will be delayed delivery as well. Now let's talk about something that are some extra time when you want it manufactured. When you want it manufactured, then there is several other things you need to do. First of all, the factory must buy material. If you're making garments, as we often take as an example, then maybe the fabric for the garments need to be bought. Then you have accessories. In the garment example, you need maybe buttons, you maybe need zippers, you maybe need some stickers to be put in, you maybe need some packing material when the products will be ready, and so on. And perhaps there are tools. If there are some plastic parts to something, maybe they need to have a special tool that makes these plastic parts. And this tool can be very cheap in some kind, but they can also cost thousands of euros. Depends all on the circumstances. What did you want? What is your product, etc. Now, when everything is in-house, it's time for manufacturing, and this can take several months in some cases before the factory can actually do something, because the material takes time if the fabric should be done, etc. But one day everything is in place and the factory can start the production, and that's the manufacturing start, and now things are moving. Then you have other things that maybe need to be done, printing, etc. And if we take the garment example, sometimes it's the fabrics is printed before the manufacturing, but otherwise it can be like a t-shirt that's printed after the manufacturing. So all this needs to be done, and this will also take time as everything else here. For both buying from stock and after manufacturing, there are some final steps as well. The first final step is that the exporter need to pack the goods for you, the manufacturer, so that you have the goods ready for you so you can get it. And they need to be properly packed, and this can take time. Sometimes they are also washing and cleaning, and it might be packing in several layers. First, maybe you have something in a plastic bag, then maybe you have an inner box, then you maybe have an outer box. It depends all. So this takes also a certain time. And sometimes you also, in connection to the packing, you have a quality check, and that will also take time, which you do in that case before the packing takes place. Finally, you have a shipment. Now, shipment takes its time. If it goes by special things like expensive jewelry, it might go by courier. It takes a few days only. But if it's normal products like garments or gift articles or whatever you are buying, then there are two options, by air or by sea. Now, if it goes by air, then you should calculate at least a week or so as a typical. It can go faster sometimes, but it needs to come to the airport, it needs to be checked in, it needs to go through the custom clearance for export, and then it has to be booked on an airplane, put into the airplane, flying over to the nearest airport to you where it should be released. And that takes time because you might also need to change one airplane to another on the halfway or something like that. So typically we say 1 week should be expected for by air. If you instead are doing by ship, then the factory must ship the goods either by truck or train or both to come to a port. And if it's a long distance to the port, it can take several days. And when it arrives there, it needs to wait for a ship that goes. It needs to be cleared there, and then it needs to be put inside this boat, and then the boat from Asia to Europe, for instance, typically takes maybe a month or maybe more. So maybe 1.5, depends. All in all, you can talk about 1.5 to 2 months from Asia to Europe is a typical time that way. So this also takes time, and it's important that you understand all these bits and pieces which together make up the shipping time and the production and shipping time. So how long will it take totally for you? Well, after you have placed the order, buying from stock, it will take perhaps 1 to 14 days plus the transport time before you have the goods. Sometimes it's an automatical handling. There is a big exporter that has things in goods and computerized system, and it goes very fast, and then it goes away quickly. But other times there might be from stock that it needs to be done more manual, or they need to pick parts from different places or things from different places, and then it can take a bit longer. For manufacturing, remember that many big companies, they take 2 years from they start with their product until they have it in stock. And there are many steps for the design, for selecting factory, for do some test manufacturing, to maybe then have it produced, which again needed the material to be purchased and so on, and then to pack it on a ship and send it and so on. So 2 years it can take. So don't expect it to take 2 days for you. Manufacturing for you may take 1 month or 1 year or anything in between. That's the more range you should think. And it depends on type of products and other circumstances. Garments, typically the first order will take 6 months. This is an example so you get a hint. Because first order typically takes a bit longer, because you are not giving the information in a fully correct way, and you have to be understood by the manufacturer and so on, and back and forward there is information going, and therefore remember that 6 months plus minus few months is very typical. You can say 3 to 9 months is what they expect for the first garment order. Repeat order goes faster normally, unless there is some material that's not in stock, it would take a long time. But typically a repeat order goes faster because everything in place, all the signs are there with the factory. If material also is in-house, then definitely it will go faster. But it depends on a few other things as well, but on the whole, repeat orders when you need some more of what you have ordered goes faster. But it all also depends on the workload in the factory. This is, remember, very important that you have in mind. And you may say, oh, I only have a small order, it must go fast. No, forget that. It's the other way around. The bigger the order is, the higher priority it gets. Because for a factory, the important customer is the big customer. It's like it will be for you when you do business. The big buyers are the important one for you. Not the one who buy one piece, but those who buy 100 pieces maybe, they are more important. And in the factory, this is the same. So small orders have to wait all the time for a gap in the production. And the same is for the sub-delivery. The factory gets orders of perhaps fabric or buttons or whatever it is. And everyone will say that small orders have to come when there is time for it. They take the big orders first, typically. Of course, they will push it in somewhere, so it shouldn't wait too long. But don't expect that because you have a small order, it goes fast. Think that the bigger order you make, the faster it goes.
Hi, thank you for watching this film. We have more information on our web pages and courses and other things, so please be welcome to follow us in the future.